All right. We're going to give it a couple seconds here and see if we can get some people on. How are you? It's Mario, Northeast Wash Pros, Greater Philadelphia. It's been a while. I have some information for you today to discuss about something that I think is crucial to any business, whether you're self-employed or you are somebody who is, hey, what's up? How you doing, guys? I'm going to take a couple seconds here and wait, but before we get started, just going to say making some videos here is very important to me because it allows me to figure out, kind of see my path from where I've been to where I am at, and it's a good record keeping blog, if you will, vlog. Hate that term. Wanted to talk about something again, which I think is very important from everything from a corporate aspect in white collar America to a blue collar job. Many of us out there are business owners. I'm one of those guys. I own Northeast Wash Pros in Greater Philadelphia. And I was sitting here thinking over the weekend, and I'm coming to you live, by the way, from my daughter's room. I've been kicked out of my office by my kids, my wife, and I just figured this is a great place to kind of just mix it up a little bit, if you will. So I guess we'll get started here. It's been a couple minutes. We're at 1:53, 1:55. And today I want to talk about the 7 habits of a successful salesperson. And I think that this is going to ring true for anybody out there who either is, again, in corporate America or is, starting their own business. If you want to be successful, this is really what you need to hammer down on and get good at. So I will start it up. So number one of the 7 habits of a successful salesperson is master your product or service. So number 1 is master the product or service. It's basically, you must know everything. You got to know everything about the product or the service, use it, demo it, know it, because you're going to be selling it, right? You need to know it. Master the product. Some guys can go out there and just wing it, but it's better if you just know the ins and outs. And remember, even if you're not a master, make sure you don't lie to clients. They know when you're BSing them. They know, they could smell it. Don't ever lie. Don't say, yeah, I know this. Well, if you don't know the answer to the question, just don't lie. Master the product, number 1. Number 2, be sure to profile your client, right? Know your ideal client. Where's your sweet spot? Who's your perfect client? If someone were to be networking with me, they would say, all right, tell me about your perfect client. And then that gives them an idea of who they're going to send your way. Or in this case, just know yourself, who you're really looking for. You're looking for, single, dual income, no kids, middle to upper middle class families, whatever it is, the demographics. Just profile your client, know your ideal client and what they expect from you, your product and your company, and don't waste time. Most importantly, don't waste time on the clients that don't fit in. They don't fit. You can prospect wisely that way. Number 3. Your process matters. So, I think if you go to any industry and you look at any studies done, it'll show that using a customized sales process will help you sell more, period. You want lots of sales consistently, and you want to sell more, right? That's the lifeblood. Sales is the lifeblood of any business. So your process matters. Make sure that you flush that out. So meaning that, what's the life cycle of a sale? I've been in corporate America a long time. This is my second full year of being a business owner. And I'll tell you, you got to just figure that out for yourself. The process is life cycle beginning to end, where you sold the deal and you got paid. And then what do you do as the follow-up? What's the life cycle? So you get a lead, you speak to the client, educate them, talk about the process, what you're going to do, how that is a benefit to them. As you're moving forward, what's the next step? Be able to say the next step is I'm going to send you this estimate. You're going to click on approve. Then once you approved it, it'll go to scheduling. They'll schedule you out for whatever day works for you. We'll get the work done that day. We expect payment day of, and then we'll send you a paid invoice. How's that sound? Sounds great. Okay. So again, your process really matters. Hey, what CRM are you using for that? Thanks for that question. So we're using House Call Pro currently, and I think it's been a great CRM system for us. It gives us all of our estimates, all of our proposals estimates, and it also gives us the invoices. So it gives us a good template for everything. It's been working really great. I'd highly recommend it. It's got a good platform, very easy, intuitive. So if you have any other questions, definitely let me know. So as I mentioned, your process matters to help you sell bigger tickets consistently. Now, if we're going to step 4, we need to talk about something different. We're going to pivot, and it's going to be perfect your pitch, right? Your sales pitch. Have you ever heard of, delivering a 15 or 30-second elevator pitch? Well, this is what that is. So, 1 through 3, pretty easy, self-explanatory. Master the product, profile your perfect client, and then number 3, process your sales process, your life cycle. 4 is perfect the pitch. Learn to deliver, a persuasive presentation. It's obviously going to lead the client to the conclusion that you're the right choice, right? So, I'm not going to give you my pitch right now, but you have to figure that out for yourself. What's your pitch? We are a local business. We want to serve the communities. We want to be involved in the communities we serve, to help restore, their properties and to deliver the finest quality client experience they can. So perfect your pitch. Really work on that. Practice makes perfect. So if you get in front of somebody at a convention or at a networking event, you can just fly off the handle. And the more times you say it, the better you're going to get. No one's going to be perfect the first time around. So continue that pitch. Number 5, move the ball forward and advance the sale. So push that sale forward. Clients are always going to come up with reasons why, they want to stop or delay, or, they defer buying, or moving forward. They'll stall the sale. So the best of the best always keep the sale moving forward and ask for the business. It's not to say that you should be pushy, because I think, consultative selling is really gotten us where we're at today, which is kind of amazing where we're at today, being as though we're only a year and a half into this full time. But, you want to be consultative with your approach. Okay. That's how we do it. That's how I train my guys to do it. That's what we're going to do. You come into a situation where you first find out what's important to the client, and you go ahead and sell them on what's important. You also educate them along the way. Make sure that you're not pushy, and they actually really like that. If they like your personality, they're going to want to work with you. If you're highly professional, they're going to really want to work with you, and you're going to be able to set yourself apart from the competition in that way. They're going to say, Mario, you were the most communicative. You explained everything. You were on time. You did everything. I love working with you. Can I send you these other clients? They want to talk you up and make them true fans. So advance the sales, number 5. Just keep the ball moving forward. Ask them to, commit if they're highly interested. Figure that out. Ask qualifying questions. Are you interested in getting this done right now? Or are you just getting, some quotes right now? How do you feel about that? Great. If I got you a quote by, say tonight, by the afternoon, could you let me know by maybe the next day or so? Okay, great. You would? Okay, great. So how about this? If I don't hear from you by Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll follow up with you, or maybe your CRM system will do that, to kind of like lock down and close the deal, get them to approve the deal, and then schedule them immediately. So 5 is advance the sale, get that ball moving forward. Number 6, another really big one. I think number 1, number 6, and number 7 are really, really important, above the others. But number 6 is positioning. When you're positioning yourself to your client and how you can solve their problem, you position the value and not the price, right? I've always, I used to be in financial services for a long time. I was a vice president for a major bank. And I'll tell you, price and cost is always an issue in the absence of value, right? So cost is an issue in the absence of value. You say, why am I paying you $10,000 in a year for management of my money when I don't see reports, I don't talk to you, you don't help me? All that is from corporate America, but delivering this from, to your service-based, your home service business is the same. Position the value and not the price. The value is you have a professional person coming to you, is going to completely be your point of contact throughout the entire process. You're going to hold their hand. You're going to educate them. You're going to point out things on their property that they may not know. If you're up on a ladder, you can see their shingles. You're consultative, and you deliver that experience by giving these clients huge amounts of value, because just being yourself, being this way is, or at least that's the way I am. Hopefully everybody else is, but position the value, not the cost. Yeah, I'm going to save you hundreds of dollars. It'll be fine. The cost actually doesn't matter. People just want to make sure that they're taken care of. So, salespeople are really the biggest differentiators in this process, in the sales equation, in the sales process. Knowing how to highlight and quantify value is the new skill set in selling. If you can do that, sky's the limit. So that is 6, position, how you position yourself, positioning the value versus price. 7, and the final one is discipline, regulating, yourself, managing not only all the things, so discipline meaning like time management, but it's also managing your mindset. So maybe mindset discipline is number 7. And as I mentioned, number 1 is, master the product. Number 6, positioning. And number 7 is mindset discipline. Okay. Your mindset is huge. You have to say to yourself, listen, this isn't the level. The next level is the level. And then the next level is the level. This isn't where I'm currently at, is just a stepping stone. And you're jumping and you're moving forward towards your goals. Make those goals. Remember, you need a vision to be able to be successful. And I think, the mental discipline, the mindset discipline is super important. You need to focus. You need to talk to yourself in the mirror if you need to in the morning and say, I am a magnet for business and success every day. Wake up in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm a magnet for business and success. I'm a magnet for business and success. And you will believe that, and you will know that. And you're basically like hacking your own brain, so to speak, to make yourself a positive person, and to make yourself a competitive person, and make you into someone who is, who's ready to go out and get it done and succeed and hit your goals. So again, that self discipline, that mindset discipline is just gigantic. So at the bottom on 7, it's really one of the top, saving the best for last, I guess, for these 7 habits for successful salespeople and being successful in business. So we're going to reiterate really quickly again. Number one, master the product. Number two, profile your perfect customer or your perfect client. Number three, make sure you understand your sales cycle. The process matters. Your sales cycle is super important. Number four, perfect your pitch. Know how to talk about that product that you mastered in step one. Number five, keep the ball moving forward. Advance the sale. Number six, positioning. And number seven, mental discipline, mindset discipline. Super, super important. Baz Vids, do you do window cleaning? If so, how do you structure your pricing? So window cleaning, we used to do window cleaning, and we ended up partnering with another cleaning company, which is pretty fantastic because they've been doing it for about 10 years. And rather than invest all the money into, I wanted to find out, how do I put this? So I wanted to find efficiency in my business, and I wanted to see what's a loss leader. And basically what I mean by that is, sometimes it's not effective to offer every product out there, but if you start with a loss leader, like let's say gutter cleaning, that might be your foot in the door. So we actually did window cleaning for a while. In fact, I actually pitched window cleaning to CVS locally. If you check out my videos, we did a window cleaning project for CVS locally, and it ended up being their flagship store. But the thing is it was kind of a pain, and we ended up just outsourcing that and working with another company to sub it out. So I hope that helps. So each window cleaner is going to know, okay, is it separate panes in the window? How many per window, inside, outside, storm doors, all that good stuff. So I'd leave that to my foreman there. What are you doing for marketing when you're at a customer's house to attract neighbors? I am doing the boots on the ground kind of stuff. I'm actually giving them, so we do yard signs, we do 5-arounds. We actually, on our business cards, on the back of our business cards, we give them we say, thank you very much. Here's my business card. If you have any friends, give them my business card and they'll get $25 or $50 off their next project. It depends. And, they actually use that. And then you'll say, oh yeah, you helped my friend Billy. He gave me your business card. It's like $50 off, right? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So we do print marketing, and mostly, obviously, when you're at a customer's house to attract the neighbors. When we leave a yard sign for about a week, we make sure that we get that. It's not in a contract, but it is something that I ask for. I say, hey, how did you like the cleaning? And if so, if you liked it, and they usually say yes, I don't really remember a situation where they didn't. I say, do you mind if I leave my yard sign in your front yard for about a week? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Just pick it up. Some of them say a couple days and then you got to pick it up, but usually a week. But I want to make sure I'm sensitive to that, because in certain neighborhoods, especially the high end ones, they don't want a house washing sign in their front yard. It's landscaped and all that. So I hope that helps. Have you seen a better ROI on yard signs or AdWords? So we have been keeping track of every lead that comes in. The script and conversation is, hey, how did you hear about us? And I would still say it's probably Google Ads and AdWords have been the leader in our marketing. We're probably going to be looking at doing some SEO work and really trying to get to the top of the pack. But I think even for, being in the last year was our first full year in business, and Google was definitely the leader. Yard signs, the trucks are wrapped too. So that's actually, I'd say Google Ads, yard signs, and the truck wrap. It's great advertising. I have people pull me off the side of the road and say, hey, pull over. I need to talk to you about my house. And then we do it. How do we keep track of it all? Well, I keep track because I like Excel. So I actually, on every single call that I'm taking or that I talk to, it's part of the script. Everybody tells me. So when it goes into the system, I actually keep an Excel sheet separate to my CRM. So the CRM handles part A of the business, but part B is the Excel spreadsheet that I keep. It's the sales spreadsheet. So I don't think I'll bring it up. So, but it's called the pipeline. In that we have our goal for the month. We have the name of the client. Let me just do this here. Let's see here. We have okay, so I'll try to share a picture here in a second, but basically imagine this. So in the Excel spreadsheet, you have January, February, March, and then under that, the goal is right there with the month, and below that is the name, the full name of the client. Next column is the city that they live in. The next one is what service do they want. The next line after that is how much is the estimate for, and then the following column is for kind of the month when they came in. So I can kind of keep track as to how long it's been since, I have November from last year that's now booking for spring. And then if I have any subcontractors, it comes in the subsequent column. So I hope that works. So do you have employees? I'm in New Jersey and it's hard to find an employee. Jesus, it's hard. It is. It's hard to find people. But you know what I've been doing is, yes, I have employees is the answer. So last year, during the height of COVID, we had 5 part-time guys and actually 1 part-time girl. And she was fantastic. Hang on one second. So she was fantastic, and finding the employees is obviously important. But what I do is I keep track of all of my prospective employees and what I could really use them for. I network through friends, family. I don't know about, what social, type of clubs or anything you're a part of, but getting the word out and just meeting people, I've met a ton. I have probably about 15 or so names that I've already kind of like identified them as, hey, this is a good technician job. This is a good, we're going to start up what's called a management trainee program. So we could start getting young people. Young people's where it's at. I'm not kidding. Young people are where it's at. They're more agile. They're better at learning, in my opinion. I don't have just young people. I have some 50-year-olds. I have actually a couple I have a 60-year-old who's a mason who helps with any masonry work that, they say, oh, this is great. Can you help me with what else do you do? And say, well, we do masonry work too. He jumps in there. I think he's 67. Either way, but the young guys are where it's at. If you can get them, attract those guys from high school or college, even seasonally, that's really the name of the game. I know it's hard, but you got to get out there as a business owner and get into BNIs. I have a BNI group, Bucks County. I was part of a couple in Chester County, Delaware County, but getting out and just looking online. Yeah. What's been the hardest things you have overcome over the years? I'm starting this month ready to go, looking for tips. So the hardest things you have overcome over the years. Fear. Fear is like the biggest thing I think to overcome in anything, right? But I honestly think my background is I've been in management for a couple different companies. I've been in mortgage brokerage, always in sales. I was in financial services and worked up from bank branches into 25 member teams for wealth management on the bank side. And the hardest thing for me was to change into this new industry where I have Northeast Wash Pros. It's really growing. It's been great. But the biggest issue, I'd say the hardest things were finding my way, because everybody has a way. There's not one way, right? So if someone says, hey, how did you get from A to B to Z? What was your way? Well, if you look at a map and you have 10 people on that map, these trails are going all over. People are going in every kind of different direction. It's whatever suits them. So I learned pretty fast that you could do it any way you want. So the hardest thing for me was figuring out what's BS and who's selling you stuff. And I'm not selling anything. I think that, our business is huge, can be even bigger. And if you bring professionalism back into the trades or the services, you can crush it. Think about any handyman that, is worth their salt and is really good. They're never available. So let's see. hardest things. Employees have been hard. I just hired my very first big role. The other guys that I had part-time last year, well, I could get into that, but I don't want to like say anything too crazy. They were part-time, let's just say that. So I 1099 them if I had to, but from those guys, they've grown into actually the next level. So some of them want to be not just technicians, but foremen. Excuse me. And so one guy's going to be a foreman for me in PA. I just hired a territory manager for Delaware. He actually is a guy that I knew from circle. I knew he's done all kinds of odd jobs, handyman jobs. He's got his real estate license. So he's a real estate agent. He was working for State Farm, and he's like, I told him, I was like, it's a trap. That world is a trap. But if you can navigate your own business, which I gave him this opportunity to do, I said, this is your territory. I'm not going to micromanage you. I want to give you training and constantly help you whenever you want it. But this is your job to hit those goals. And that was Friday night. Just did that Friday night. I hope that helps. Does that help? For 5 rounds, are you just pitching and business cards? Are you giving a flyer as well? For 5 rounds, I actually started off just putting my card in their mailbox. And actually on the back, I would say, call me if interested. Here's my cell. Or I would say, house wash, $350, or I would say $399 or whatever it was, or $250, and I'd say call me, friends and neighbor discount if I needed to, or if I kind of did a lot to see what stuck at the beginning. You gotta be really not cunning. You have to be kind of flexible and agile when you get out there. It's like, if one thing happens, you just gotta slip the punch and and counter, or you have to try all kinds of different things and see what really works for you. I would say, yeah. So I would do the business cards first. I put them at the top of the mailbox. It depended if they had mailboxes up against the house or if it was down near the sidewalk. But and then I started putting in little flyers, little postcards, like EDDM type of postcards, and just slip it in there. But it's been great. Team Wash Life has great marketing, and it makes my job a lot simpler. I'll tell you something else that was actually really hard. Delegation and letting go of, I'm just going back to your other question, delegation and letting go of all the hats that you're wearing. You got to let it go. You got to say, look, how do I get to the next level? Because like I said, this level's not the level. The next level's the level. You're going to be doing sales the whole time. You're going to be in the field the whole time. You're going to be doing admin the whole time. It's like, hell no, I'm not doing all my marketing. You got to have a little bit of money up front, but, getting that stuff really helped me a lot. I don't have to work, and it makes me look very professional. And then the equipment aspect of it. Yeah. Am I paying myself? I'm guessing you're an LLC with a W-2 for yourself. I'm always paying myself. So I would recommend, what the hell's the name of that book? So anyway, I'll put a book into the comment section after this is posted. But basically, you got to pay yourself first. Maybe that's what it's called. But anyway, I'll go get the book and I'll post it in the description. But basically, always pay yourself first. Distributions. Now, this is where a little bit of the tax advice. I'm not going to give it to you like disclosure. I'm not a tax professional, but I have worked in financial services, so I know a little bit about taxes, and I hired my own tax guy. So McCarthy and Associates in Greater Philadelphia does all my taxes, and they're my tax advisory guy. I pay myself first. So I pay myself, like a good wage. So think about what your costs were. I mean, we're not to get into specifics, but your expenses for yourself per month, and then just pay yourself. Say, look, yeah, I have a pool of money. Pay myself out of that. If you have no money, then you just got to make sure that you're hustling to get that money so that you can get it another way and maybe put money into the business. Where are you as far as, profit first? Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, that sounds familiar. I have to check that out. If you're starting out and you're dead ass broke, it's a tough place to start. Where I started from was a position of I didn't get any financing. I self-financed everything that I needed. I also went out. So I bank at a local bank. And when I first opened up my checking account, which I recommend you do multiple checking accounts, FYI, but be careful. They might need a minimum balance. I would say you would just go out, get a checking account, and then open up a credit card line of credit with them. And usually it's around 5,000 or 6,000. Put all your big ticket items on that. And therefore your monthly transition there is, not a lot. And therefore it alleviates a lot of your expenses, and you're free to kind of pay yourself on those jobs. Also, hey, some of us are doing cash jobs out there. If you're going to do that, yeah, go for it. I have money. I used to be a tower climber for telecommunication. Oh, nice. My uncle did that, but I do not want to overinvest. Okay. So when I started this, I knew, so overinvest. Here's another interesting thing. So if you're dumping in, and make sure also, before I get started with this, you have your personal, you have your business. It's like two separate people. Make sure that you know that. So your personal, I did make one mistake, and I'm telling you this now because I knew the mistake. I actually opened a personal Best Buy credit card to buy laptops, printers, the things that I needed, which came to about $2,500. But how I skirted this situation where I put it under my personal social, but I used it for my business, was I paid it from my business as an expense. I paid my personal credit card, which was really should have been business debt, from my business account. So a couple business accounts, get a business line of credit, and that'll help to really invest into yourself and into, there's a lot of ways to cut corners at the beginning. But remember, if you're investing into your equipment, which by the way, I haven't invested a crap ton. I didn't want a middle of the road. Like I wanted something more, actually, I should say, I wanted something more middle of the road instead of like just building my own soft wash system. We XJet a lot. We have a 4.2 gallon per minute from Harbor Freight. It's been working awesome. I don't need a buffer tank with that. And I have a Gen 3 soft wash system. And, we've been doing a lot of good work with that. Let me see what else, other questions you got here. I have 5 gallon minute, all plumbed up, ready to go. And soft wash system I built myself and tested, works well. Awesome, dude. I could actually probably use your help with that. I'm setting up my second truck down in Delaware, and I have one of those soft wash systems in a steel box that I bought. And that was from crap. I forget where it's from. Anyway, it's like a major guy on our soft wash system. So I'm looking into QuickBooks. Any suggestions? So, shit, I'll tell you this, man. As a finance guy, I have a master's degree in business management. And I'll tell you what, I could sit there and do it in QuickBooks. QuickBooks is not intuitive to me. I hated it. I bought it and I never used it. I logged into it and I never used it, not once. And, and I said to myself, I'm not racking my brain to delegate this. Racking my brain to do this. I'm going to delegate this. If I'm going to have a tax guy, I'm just going to delegate to him. So here's the one thing. If you want to call McCarthy and Associates in Greater Philadelphia, Jeff Kim is my CPA. If you want to check him out, awesome guy, and he'll actually give you a good break if you want taxes and your books done right. I'm not quite at the part where. So I give him my 12 months of statements, and he goes through, and they'll actually charge me maybe like $50-$60 an hour to do it. It takes maybe like a couple hours for them to do. Listen, $120 is well worth it at the end of the year, and it's a business expense for the following year. So anything that you can justify as a business expense, including your books, just do it. Just delegate that out to someone else so you can focus on working, I hate to say it like this, but working on your business and not in your business, right? Definitely a team. Okay, cool. I'll show you what I have. Literally made something out of nothing. Nice, dude. All right, cool. I'm down with that. I don't know if you watched any of my other videos, but I've been really trying to work on efficiency. And I'm like, well, the Gen 3 has been cool. Don't get me wrong. It's had its problems. But getting into like change different things and like I'm kind of learning. I definitely am hands-on, but simplicity is key. KISS model, right? Keep it simple, stupid. I keep thinking to myself, the easier it is for number one, the processes and my services, but number two, all the equipment. If my guys can go, it's a simple, like it's a hose clamp. Undo the hose clamp, change the barbell, plug it in, tighten it up, done. Like I want it simple, so it doesn't take us out of the field. But you're right, man. Awesome. So I got you at team at bluestreamsoftwash.com. That's an awesome website name. Mine's mywashpros.com. I also bought northeastwashpros.com, but I haven't added it to the website. I just like mywashpros.com. In addition, marketing wise, I just remembered that I'm trying out, or at least I'm getting quotes right now for radio advertisement. So yeah, check it out. Oh, nice, dude. The live videos are really ranking SEO. Yeah, well, I'm trying everything I can. I hope to get up there. I think in my local city, it's I'm definitely number one. But if you go outside of like my little town, it's like, I'm probably not even on page 2. But so unless I'm running a Google ad, but so I'm really trying to find other avenues, and someone who's also in a home service business. They do windows, doors, siding, and because I need windows, I started talking to the owner, and he said, talk radio actually has worked really, really well for him. And I'm like, talk radio? He's like, yeah, like KYW and all that stuff that's local to Philly. He's like, look into that and look at overnight hours, like 3 a.m. shift. I said, for real? He goes, yeah, because everyone's listening to it, and might be hospital workers working an overnight shift and actually hear your name. And then so I'm like, oh, all right, well, let's check it out. But I don't want to spend, like you said, overinvest into that. And you could probably spend between $1,000 and $5,000 for a month. And I'm like, it's a little expensive. So we'll see. But yeah. So let's see here. Have you hired someone for SEO? No, I'm interviewing people right now. I'm interviewing 2 companies, and I have a third that hasn't gotten back to me that I heard from some guys on the like Team Wash Life and some other posts, or Spray Wash Academy or something like that. But I'm looking into it, and that's definitely something I'm going to need now because I have a second location. My goal for last year was 100,000 in revenue, and we hit that, and it was great. And I expect that this guy's he's hungry. And I lived in Delaware for the majority of my life, and so that's like a home market for me. And so he's running that. So any of my home market referrals and now his referrals combined will make up his portion of the revenue. And so hopefully it'll be really cool. So yeah. Need to try everything, but radio is very expensive for New Jersey, and billboards. Oh my God, billboards are like, I wish I owned a couple of those. That's for sure. Yeah. I haven't thought about billboards yet. It's just, I can't look, if you get talk radio overnight, it literally could be anything from like 125 or like even $49 per like 15-second or 30-second ad. So if you're in there saying, hey, is your house dirty? Do you want it? You could say, does it look like Moss Man's ass? I don't get it clean. And our tagline is Northeast Wash Bros, keep it clean, kind of thing. And so I don't know. Well, if you hear me on the radio, make sure you reach out and be like, oh my God, that dude Mario. So you've interviewed what? Damn, 30 plus people. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah. Dude, 30 plus people is insanity. But let me ask you a quick question, on the subject of interviewing. Do you have any kind of like parameters or 3 things that you really ask when you're in an interview? I actually just interviewed someone for an admin position, but I don't think I'm going to do that. And I'll ask you why I'm asking this is because like Jill's office, if you know that's like that, the automated live person who's like an admin who can answer the phone. If you don't, says, hey, how are you? It's Jill or whatever, and takes a message and get back to you. But it's important for you to answer that phone because I couldn't tell you how many times people are like, I can't believe it's you. Is this a live person? I was like, yeah, how can I help you? Like, no one in the area has answered the phone. I'm like, well, I did. What can I do for you? And I've won so much more business. So, but when I'm in the middle of an interview, I'll tell you what I do. I make sure I ask, my goal is to see if they're a positive person, if they're a competitive person, and if they can deliver an excellent client experience. Those are my three my three real boxes that I need checked. Are you a positive person? Because negativity is contagious. So is positivity, but negativity is like way more contagious. If you got somebody saying, "Oh, fuck this guy," whatever he said. Excuse my language. I hope that doesn't offend, but it's like he's never out in the field. Mario, I was like, I spent years in the field and crush it. So these guys should have respect, but I need someone who's positive, who's competitive, and someone who is able to deliver a quality experience. And I ask them, I say, tell me a situation where you think you've delivered a fantastic client experience. I'm sorry, I keep moving this, but yeah. So anyway, so that is basically what I have to say. I think that, we covered the 7 sales habits for successful sales team, sales manager, sales in general. Doesn't matter if you are, retail, if you're corporate, or if you're, in home service based. And that is, again, we want to 1, master the product, 2, profile your client, 3, make sure that your process is intact, your life cycle of the sales process. It matters. So get that down, perfect your pitch. 6, advance the sale. Always keep that ball moving forward. I say 5. 5 is advance the sale. 6 is positioning, position value, not price. And 7 is self-discipline, mental discipline. Let's see. Ask some more questions. I'm definitely going to be here for you. Let's see. Nice SEO comment. That's cool. Definitely. And 3 Zoom calls a month. That's the best guy I've seen so far. Okay, cool. I'm down with that. The guys that I've talked to are in like Conshohocken, and one guy was actually from Texas, I think, but he was the one guy that was from the Team Wash Life or Spray Wash Academy Facebook groups. And then there was one more guy that I was talking to in Delaware. There's Seer, SEER, Seer Interactive. It's funny. The guy used to be one of my fraternity brothers in college, and he owns this, like, it's one of the best SEO and SMO firms in the city and in and around Philadelphia. And he does really good work, but they're super expensive, like super duper expensive, which is, there's your value, lead with value and not price, because if they led with price, I'd be like, nope. Have fun with that. That's like, 10 grand. No. I'm sorry. I'm not there yet. So they better be building me an ATM for that price. Yeah. Oh, Small World. Really? Oh, Jesus. Yeah. It's expensive. I mean, the one guy in Conshohocken for SEO was like, he said it was like $500-600 for one Google site, like Google My Business location, and then add $300 for the second site. But he kind of talked himself out of the sale, which is interesting. I mean, they do good work. I think it's Get Found, Get GET-PH for like Philly, like for found, PHOUND, Get Found out of Conshohocken. Sam, I think is his name. Anyway, or Ross was his name. So, interesting guy. He gave it to me straight, and I liked it, but I don't know if I'm quite exactly ready for it right now, but I want to be for spring. But I'll tell you, starting up a new truck in a new location is, and let me tell you what I basically am doing. So for that new location, there's not only just the marketing, there's the tools and equipment, and there's a bunch of other stuff, insurances. So, we have a brand new phone number for Delaware. We have business cards to get that are unique and to the business, their yard signs and their other print marketing. We have to upgrade House Call Pro to be able to get him on there. And by the way, House Call Pro has been great, but they want to charge me like triple what I'm currently paying to just add one person on. It's kind of like, I wish there was another way to go around it. We're going to increase the insurance coverage to include the new territory manager in the new truck. And the new truck, I have to buy a new truck. I'm actually looking for that today. I'm trying to get this all done in the matter of, a couple weeks so that we can get our marketing out there. He's already putting together a list of, realtors and property managers and people that he knows that are going to give him business. So anyway, yeah. So So, I mean, 1K will bring 10K plus pick. Yeah, right. Exactly. He told me your service business is easier than worldwide. Okay, yeah, definitely check out. Oh, really? Is it Market? CRM. That's what I'm planning to go with. Okay, they are doing everything. Well, I'll tell you what. I heard good news about that. I have. You know what? I think I went on their site just to check it out. But see, the thing is like when you make that decision to go with a CRM, the longer you're with them, I think the harder it is to transition because you got all those people, you got all your clients' information. But I wanted to go with a reputable company that I thought I could be with for a long time. Service Titan is someone. Look up Sheila Smeltzer. I met her in New Jersey in like the Cherry Hill pressure washing motivation conference that was back in. Shit, was that 2019? Damn. It was like, I think it was like fall into winter, and she actually used a Service Titan. She was a speaker there. Sheila Smeltzer, A+ window cleaning and pressure washing from down south somewhere. She was great. She was like a great mentor for me for a while too. She like would really spend time doing stuff, but when she got busy, she just didn't have the time, which is understood. Rob Anderson's also another good mentor for me. He's been great. And then but getting mentors is important, like I don't think anybody should be expected to know everything, but you need to, build off of those who have come before you and just make it better and make it your own. Pretty simple, right? But Markate, I'm pretty interested to see what that looks like. Hopefully you and I will connect after this. I have your information. I'm going to go ahead and copy that email right now, softwash.com. And then I will plug it into an email and send it to you right now. So hang tight. So hopefully you'll be able to see this if you're still watching. And here we go, plugging you in. There you go. Awesome. So Softwash help. Okay, so I'm sending that off. Boom. So Northeast was at Gmail just sent. Oh yeah, it's funny. I did a video. You said definitely need to see your rigs for the next video. Yeah, I actually did one. So my thing was this, like, I looked online to see if I wanted to do one of those drop-in skids. They're freaking expensive, man. And plus I have a 2-car garage, but it's wide enough for the truck, but the height is not quite high enough. And actually I had to cut off part of the ladder rack so that would just make it into the garage, because the garage space is a huge deal. And I don't know how you're doing this in New Jersey. Do you have something similar probably? Or let me know. I kind of, the guy in Delaware that's starting for me, kind of like the outstanding problem is I need a garage for the rig down there, or I'll have to rent something, or I'll have to figure something out. But I figure that'd be something for the fall to figure out. Let's worry about booking the deals now, making the money, and then we'll figure something out for, even if I have to take the damn thing apart and put the pressure washer in my garage and then, winterize everything else, take the soft wash system out or whatever. So trying to make that. That's also why I think you and I could talk about, on how to disassemble that easily, and then empty out all the hoses and stuff, and then winterize it for the next season. So though there was, oh, you live in an apartment? Shit. How does that? Wow. Where do you keep it in the, is there a covered garage or something? I don't know. Oh, nice. Okay. Oh shit. You got to throw a tarp over it. Well, I'll tell you what, man. If you get this thing up and running, you're going to be able to get yourself a spot where you can even build like a pole barn. If you can get like a nice little piece of land, they're pretty cheap, pretty easy. Throw a couple of space heaters in there. Pow. I really wish I had that. In fact, I'm thinking about widening and deepening my garage to try to keep my stuff there. It's funny. Let me tell you a quick story about a guy who is in my neighborhood. Awesome dude. Really cool. We've gotten really close. He owns a landscape and lawn care company. It's got 4 trucks, like 800 clients. The guy crushes. It's hard work, but he crushes. And he actually keeps everything in an enclosed trailer, and it seems to work for him. I mean, like any of his machines, like I guess he takes out all the trimmers and stuff, but he's like, you should think about that. I'm like, that shit gets so damn, like, but for someone like you, if you were looking at, getting an enclosed trailer, I'd probably say it's the next best thing, and also keep the security there. Someone could just lift up the tarp, and also, I don't know, that's tough. I don't know how sometimes how I do it with a garage, but so it's hard, but looking for a shop, then cutting it in half, rent the other half, then a perfect world. That would work. That would be awesome. But it's like, that level's here. That's not this level. The next level is a level, right? You need to get up there. We need to hustle. If anything, and the other thing is, I'll tell you this, which is a surprise, because in most other industries, people are dicks if they're your competitors. But I'll tell you what, I've actually befriended a lot of local competition. Column Fidgen is actually in New Jersey. Have you ever heard of him? He's Precision Soft Wash. He's actually helped me out quite a bit. And I'll tell you how. I was in New Jersey and I needed parts and chem. He literally just texted me the combo to his shop, which was closed. He goes, go in the shop, press the buttons, get in there, and then tell me what you got, take a picture of it, and pay me later. I was like, damn, dude, this is like a nice guy. He's got a good sized business going on. He does road brine and stuff like that. Anyway, Colin Fidgen, he's been a great dude. To me, he's been a great friend, but I've become friends with a lot of local guys just by reaching out. Like I see them on the road and I saw them say, hey man, how's it going? They're usually like, hey man, what's up? There's way too much stuff to clean for one person to be pissed or like, frustrated that there's another dude out there trying to get it done. And if we go out there, we're bringing professionalism back to this trade, to this industry. The sky's the limit, man. People are going to be like, damn, that guy's more professional than my banker, and you will be busy out, too busy sometimes, but is that a bad thing? Dreams where it starts. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, you should look into it. Yeah, the local guy. So look up Column. You spell his name Colm, Fidgen, which is Fidgeon. So Column. He's Irish. Irish. Colm, Column. And last name Fidgen. And look up Precision Soft Wash. And it's also, he's got Precision. He's got a couple different businesses. And he does really well. He sells a lot of equipment over in New Jersey, and he actually does a lot of training too. And I'll tell you what, do you know who Flip is? He's out of Delaware. He was recently at the power washing motivation down in Myrtle Beach. And Dave, I think it's Dave Flipping. I met him a couple times at Column's events. We came all the way up from Delaware. The guy's really Flipping is really trying to make moves and get known and become part of the soft wash industry, which I think you and I should really do that too. That's huge and important. If guys go out there and they say, hey, Mario, Northeast Wash Brothers, oh shit, yeah, I know, I met him, he's a cool dude. Like I'm not out here to like make money. I'm out here to just share my 17 plus years in a professional environment and how to bring that and transition that to a home service business where, let's be honest, if you asked the typical average person, what does a pressure washer look like to you? Like, what kind of person is that? What is it? A guy that shows up in a green t-shirt with jeans on and khaki colored, like Timberlands and says, yeah, I could clean that for you? Or is it a guy who comes with, a polo shirt, which if you check out some of my other videos, we have 3 different types of shirts. So we have doesn't bleach. We also have the 100% polyester Under Armour polos. So we have gray and we have white. White's only for our business prospecting because you just want to be like super clean. We're cleaners, right? It's images everything. And I wanted our business to be, I wanted the look to be not only just like young, professional, but sporty and active. And it looks like you came off the golf course ready to like give some lessons as like, a golf pro. And people go, holy shit, this guy, he's got it together. He's got a look, he's got a brand. And so that's kind of my vision of what I wanted this to be. What I have learned in my 24 years of life is to grow together, be better than dominate together. Yes, it's absolutely right. You're 24. I'm 40. Shit, I'm almost 41. It's crazy. Sometimes you learn what you like by learning what you don't like. It's truth in everything, truth in love, truth in life. Like the hamster wheel and trap, as I like to call it in corporate America, is they got you in this trap and they expect so much utility. You're just a hammer to these companies, hammer and nails, bam, bam, bam. You're nothing but a screwdriver. If you break, and they throw you away and they get somebody else new, because nobody's really taught the next gen of you should be a business owner. And I'll tell you why. I'm an investor as well, like a real estate investor. And let me tell you something, between personal investment and business investment, you can write off and expense a crap ton of your expenses. What does that mean for you? It means that you need less money to get to from A to B. So if let's say I'm paying myself $5,000 a month, and my expenses are between the mortgage, between gas and food and utilities and all that stuff is maybe like, say it's $4,000. But what if you just, and you're making $1,000 maybe left over, but what if you wrote off a lot of those expenses, cell phone and other things? You can widen that gap and actually technically make more money. And in days like now, not everybody's driving to their office locations because everyone's home. So they're saving money every single week between not paying for gas and maybe not even doing as much dry cleaning and stuff like that you can expense. So sometimes I can just ramble. So stop me if I'm rambling. Oh, excuse me. Where is he in New Jersey? Column is in, blah, 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 blah. I'll tell you right now. Precision. Let's look it up. Car wash. Oh, he is in Somerdale, New Jersey. So Precision Power Wash Inc. He's got 13 reviews on Google. And they also has Precision Power Washing as a second Google My Business. Precision Power Washing LLC. He's got like 3 businesses on here. What is that all about? Is that multiple? I don't know. That's weird. Maybe it's separate businesses, but check him out. He's in Somerdale, New Jersey. Call him. Just call him and see. Tell him that I sent you. Say, I talked to Mario. I was talking to him online. He actually has, and I'll tell you, I know this because it's my birthday, March 24th. He's having a training. I think it's paver sealing. You should check it out. Also, is that you? Wait. Hold on. I'm sorry. Let me finish my thought and I'll get to the comment. But paver sealing is on March 24th, Somerdale, New Jersey. I don't know where in New Jersey you are, but it'd be awesome to meet you there. I'm planning on going there myself, so that'd be really cool. Also, do me a favor. It looks like you're probably subscribed to me already, but I would love a like, and also share this. If you're, share it on your page, share it, whatever. It'd be great. Helps me out. I want to gain more traction here and try to, meet more people this way. But let me go down here. So any plans after having your business be passive income, hopefully? So any plans after having your business be passive income, hopefully? So you might have heard of Automate, Grow, Sell. Josh Latimer is a guy who originally started like a window cleaning company, and he's made a crap ton of money, and he sold it. He actually grew it and sold it. So automate the processes, grow it super big, and then a conglomerate comes in and goes, "Oh yeah, I'll pay you 3x your yearly. If that's 3 million, then you're at 9 million, and you're like, I'm feeling pretty good right now." So automate, grow, sell. Eventually, I have a couple kids, so eventually I'd like to get the kids involved, because I know that that's usually people you can trust, and that's how I can grow the business. But for me, automation is where it's at, man. Like, I really think, let me see if I can turn this light on if it's any better. So my process is this. If you can hire, so an organizational chart, org chart for short, is highly important, right? Making sure that you, again, delegate your roles. So right now you're wearing all the hats, I'm guessing, right? And I think I'm pretty, hitting a straight shooter with that. But, if you had an admin, you're doing sales, you're doing in the field technician work, you're doing marketing, you're doing payroll once that happens. You're doing all these things, but you need to compartmentalize, and you need to drop that level down and really put out there. Maybe this will be another video that I do. Hopefully you'll be on that. But so if you do an admin person that handles every single admin, and I would actually have them directly, if you looked at it like a triangle, and I could even draw it out, but you're up here, the line goes straight down to an admin, and your admin actually is who everyone reports to. So your territory managers report to your admin. Now you have 4 locations, and maybe 3 trucks in each location. And so that's why, we originally wanted to name this company Northeast Wash Pros, so that we can be all over the Northeast. We want to start small, hyper local, right? So staying small and staying lean and mean and making as much money as we can in the best way possible. And then not starting franchises, but starting branches. Just much like a bank, actually, say like you have a territory manager who runs that entire branch. So, let's see here. You got multiple businesses you can link to one. Yeah, yep, exactly. That's SEO, right? And then the problem I have is that I can't have everything down to a T. I can't put my price X for this square foot because all the houses are different. They are different. So that's another thing where you were like, what's the toughest thing? Like, you can't ask for pricing. Like, every time everybody's in these Facebook groups, and they're like, oh, what would you charge for a house like that? And they go, people are like, I don't know. It depends, right? So I will tell you, actually, dependent. New Jersey, you can actually probably crush it in New Jersey. And here's the reason why. I actually knew of a couple people that, these wealthier houses, you have a 5 gallon a minute, you should be able to do pretty much anything residential. When you start tapping into a vein of a wealthy community, and you start, pumping out those houses, you can really, sometimes they like to brag about how much they're paying to their friends. Believe it or not, it's true. I've had multimillionaires like look over to the other one at the country club and be like, oh yeah, I just spent $15,000 restoring the back bluestone of my, it's crazy, right? But it's true. It's true, and that's how it is. So sometimes, you can charge a lot in New Jersey for specific houses just because they expect their wealthy house or their expensive house to be maintained, and it takes a lot of money to maintain it. You never see a wealthy person mowing their lawn, cleaning their windows, cleaning their house, doing the art. They're not doing that. They have the disposable income that you want, and that sometimes is your target customer, and that's your sweet spot. But for me, I'll tell you, I don't always like doing the big houses. I'll tell you why. The middle range houses, you can do more and charge the higher rate. So, I'll tell you, like, let's just say it's $400, right? So say it's like $399 for a house wash. My prices are going to be different than yours. But if it's $400 for a basic run of the mill, $500,000, $400,000 house, and that there's not really 3rd floor dormers, you can kind of get around that. There's not a lot of foliage you got to worry about. They have running water. All the pressure is fine there. But you go to this big ass house, and you say, okay, well, maybe I'll just charge double. You want to make sure that you explain and set the right expectation for a client. And you say, I'm going to have to take care of all these sconces. I'm going to have to take care of all of the wooden doors that you have, and make sure that you definitely don't want to spray SH on those wooden doors without having your somebody right there who's watering it down right after, prior, and then after, and then, and then all the detail work, as I call it, detail work. So I try to kick up my game a little bit more when it comes to that. And I'll say, we're going to give it a really thorough cleaning. We're going to make sure we protect your house, as it's most likely most people's biggest investment. We just got those sconces look amazing. We're going to make sure we bag those and tape the edges to make sure that there's no issue. It doesn't go behind it. And they're like, oh man, he really cares about what's going on. Yeah. Do you have any pets? Do you have any kids? No, we don't, or yes, we do, or whatever it is. Just I always say if they do, don't come outside for the rest of the day. Just stay on the concrete. Don't go in the yard. Let it dry out before you go out there. Let the pets out there too. Anyway, so I kind of went on a tangent there, but that's the best part is not having a specific. You should have a start point. You should have a minimum for what you're going out. Mine's $199. So if it's $199, I tell them, it's like, look, small steps. It's hardly anything. It's it's $199, and after that, it depends. You have to have I try to sell packages, and people like to see that. In House Call Pro, I'm able to identify like a base, middle, and high, end of the road kind of package. This covers up to 50 windows. This covers up to 20 windows. This covers up to this will cover your front, the window wash is included. I always say that. And the house wash and a window rinse and wash is always included. That's the basic rinse. If you want actual window cleaning, it's a separate charge. Do you have any rust? Do you have any of this? And I upsell. Usually if I can get in for a house wash, I can usually, I can get in there and upsell, something else. But, so let me just go to what you're mentioning. I hope I'm not rambling, man. Stop me if I am, man. It's been a long day. It's like 5:15. I have a 3,500 roof wash for March for slate roof, but now he's upset. I charge 15 for the shingle roof for his neighbor. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Shingle? A regular asphalt shingle roof? Hold on a second. Okay. Don't be mad. Explanation and, that consultative approach and educating the client is where this comes in. And you say, Mr. Customer, you have to understand the medium. If you have a brick or stone house, it's different than if you have vinyl siding. You have a slate roof. Do you know what that means? The percentage that it could be damaged is higher than an asphalt shingle roof, right? You're telling them that. Yeah, I know that, the trick with asphalt or with a slate roof is you got to get it on, you got to get it off. You can't wait. Don't let it dwell long, or it'll actually it'll etch the slate and it'll look like crap. So, you got to rinse it down really good. Put your mix on and rinse it off immediately. And then if you got to do a couple, it's a pain in the neck and it's a lot more intensive work. And you just got to let them know that, not be afraid. The client is not always right. Right. So they are oftentimes wrong. They don't know crap about anything, usually, unless they're like a builder or they think they do. Tell me what kind of window this is. I don't know, double hung. Yeah, it's that plus this and plus that. You don't know everything about but you do. And that is what you're pitching the value, your experience, and what I've done in the past. And you say, look, if I don't know it, I'll find out the answer together with you. How's that sound? But for that, oh my God, that pissed me off. I would tell him immediately, well, first of all, you guys are sharing and that's fine, but I price every house is different. And then I would go into slate is extremely expensive. If you got to fix that piece of slate, it's a little bit different than if you got to fix a piece of asphalt shingle roof. So therefore, it takes triple the work, and therefore that's why you got triple the price. So it's not apples to apples comparison. And that's all I would say. A guy charged him $7,000 for the wash slate roof, but he was a contractor and does not know our processes. And I don't feel right stewing him a returning customer more valuable than one time, because he can now do referrals. That's tough, man. That's tough. And I explain to people, I say, listen, I've never really had an issue. You know why? I think it's because I over explain and set the right expectations right from the beginning. And when you're small talking somebody, usually, you get to talking about anything and everything. It's like, oh, what a beautiful home. You have a great home here. That's fantastic. I really love this area. It's close to wherever. And it's really great. That's fantastic. And so how you doing today? I'm doing great. Let's take a walk around your house when we do the estimate, or I would do it virtually and then go over it with him over the phone. I would say, look, hey, I'm going to do an estimate, but I'm going to tell you, if I go out there, I'm going to say what it is. If you get up there and it's a slate roof, first and foremost, that's a very expensive job. It's a time consuming job. And it's critical that you don't make any errors, because you don't want to be I would actually be wary about even taking a slate roof job. I don't know, how long you've been doing it, but I've seen people mess it up. had a couple last year. They came out fine, but they weren't really that dirty. I think the people, they really wanted to make sure that their maintenance, they're maintaining their house, pretty regularly, and it was pretty fun. But I saw some dirty ones, and I didn't end up getting that job. So because I priced it so high, I was like, it's $5,000. They're like, what? I'm like, you have a slate roof, right? Do you know how expensive that is? You know what the update? You have brass fittings around your gutters because it was a huge estate, mainline. But anyway, so the packages we need to talk about, for some reason, it's hard for me to construct a set price. Yeah, definitely not walking on. Oh, hell no. Do not walk on slate, man. Oh my God. And also, I hate walking on roofs in general. Sucks. Look, I'm 6 foot, about 250 plus. Big tree fall hard. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. I actually had a client who was bigger than I was, huge man. He's 51 years old, but he was gigantic. And he said, I was up on the ladder and the damn ladder started sliding off. Thankfully, he hit a young evergreen pine tree, and he grabbed onto it and actually bent. It bent over while he was hanging onto it. He slammed into the ground, and I saw his back print is a big divot in the ground. I'm like, I don't like being up on a roof. So the least amount of roof work is great, and you got to just be careful, right? Packages. So you wanted to know about packages. It's actually really easy with House Call Pro, but I'll tell you this. There's almost no way to automate it. So what I've done is that I've built a package so that it says it includes a bunch of stuff. So like I always include scope of work, and I have disclosures at the bottom. It's included in every single estimate. But basically, you do a scope of work, in the top area, and then I have 4 or 5 bullet points that are already in. So I don't have to recreate it every time. There's a template, right? Should I say that? There's a template in House Call Pro, and anytime that I'm doing an estimate, I just start typing house wash, and then all of my templates will come up. It'll go house wash less 1,500 square feet, plus, say over 2,000 square feet, less than or equal to 2,000, more than 3,000, 3,500 square feet, or whatever it is. And then I'll just add on there, we're doing no roof, we're doing the house, we're doing the windows, and property protection's already on there, and, landscape protection's on there, and, the included window rinse and cleaning. It's not proper cleaning, but it is a wash and rinse for general. I don't sell it as like a detail clean. So so general and a detail clean. You could even use that. So like a basic, middle of the range and high end. I think I'm going to be upgrading it, but I think I used like silver package, gold package, platinum package. And people are like, damn, I want the platinum. That's like take care of my stuff. And the main thing I think I want to do is start up memberships. So if people want to do a membership with me, it's going to cost them a little extra money. Like it'll be like maybe $45 for a membership. But then what I'm selling that as is you'll always have a permanent slot, and you can jump ahead of anyone who's not a member. So if you are a member, then all of a sudden, you call Mario Northeast Wash Pros and you say, look, I'm having a party. I mean, it's COVID, who knows, but people do it. I'm having a birthday party for my daughter. I really want the back patio done. Can you come this week? And I'll give you a quick tip for free. When we book our jobs, I always book Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday first, and I leave Monday and Friday. So that Mondays, if there's any last minutes, I can do them on Mondays or I can do them on Fridays. And whenever I'm talking to people on the road, I can usually say, hey, they go, could you get me in this week? I'm like, yeah, it's either going to be this Friday or next Monday. And I know that we could probably get that done for you. I'm 95% sure. And then I just check the schedule. I mean, I'm basically running the schedule anyway, but if I don't know off the top of my head, if I'm not near my computer or whatever, but, although I shouldn't say that because cell phone's a computer. Anyway, so yeah, so let me get back to these questions. So, address, you send me an address. Okay. Doing everything with 12 foot. Okay. Gotcha. 5'8", 2 feet enough for me. Can you see your closing costs on House Call? What do you mean by closing costs? So taxes and stuff? So closing costs. So you can see everything. I mean, you can put in there extra materials. Is that they make it pretty intuitive for it, and you can add whatever you want to on the site before you submit the invoice or submit it for payment. And the cool thing is that on the cell phone itself, I'll just show you. Like you have House Call Pro, comes up like this. Can you see that? And then you can kind of scroll up. You have your tracking charts here. You have a schedule, so you can kind of keep your basic schedule. You click on any day, and then you just add a customer. So if you go into your customer database, you can. I don't know if you can see that. Let's do it like that. So the top is you just go ahead, search by name, or you just hit a plus sign, which is up here. I don't know if you can't really see that, but there's a plus sign, and you just add in your client. You can adjust it any way you want. So like 50/agree and 50/lost. So your closing ratio, right? So yeah, you can see all of that in your basic reports, your basic reporting. So if I were to get in there right now, let's see, we'll close this out. And we go to our dashboard. You can see jobs scheduled, jobs closed, upcoming jobs, open work, what needs attention. At the very top of my cell phone, it says like up here in the red, it says needs attention. There's 5 things that need attention, like estimates that have been approved, but not, whatever. But yeah, and that's just the app. The mobile app is pretty cool, pretty handy, but you probably want to go on to your computer. And like I said, I use Customer Factor, but then I make sure that I enter in an Excel spreadsheet, which it's very basic. I got to tell you, there's no calculations. There's no, nothing really hard about it. And I could show you that later. It's not a problem. I could definitely share my page and show you what I'm doing. I create a dummy page or something, but really pretty easy. So that way, and I'll tell you, this is a good trick, and not saying that I do this, but if you do have cash jobs, you want to keep a book on CRM. Your CRM book is all your on paper jobs. And if you have a cash job, you need to keep track of that, right? So you need to make sure that you have your total jobs, and then your CRM has your regular jobs. So every month I'm making sure that I calculate, if I had any cash jobs, it might be a few bucks, but whatever it is, the majority of it's like, say I got 10,000 in revenue this month, and out of that, maybe $100 is like, cash. So I keep track of that, and you'll find your own way. But that spreadsheet is fantastic to use for not only the year, then I copy it and paste it into 2021. So then I could start over. And then, I actually keep a highlighted list of people who never got back to me at the end of each month that I could follow up, and I just copy and paste it into the next month. So I can look down and say, oh, I need to call Dave or Frank or Bill or Mary or whoever, and then follow up. So you never let that go. I know Customer Factor as far as follow up is supposedly they have a pretty good system, but I've known people who've gone through Customer Factor and it's okay. I've actually even had contractors give me estimates through Customer Factor. I didn't like the way it looked. It was kind of confusing. It was very frustrating. And if they made a couple changes, I bet it would be better. Just saw your email. That's a great signature. How'd you do that? Signature is, so I got a logo made. I'm sorry, coughing a lot. I got a logo made from a person that I know is a graphic designer. And so I had my Northeast Wash Pros done, and then you just go to the signatures area of Word. So I'm sorry, not of Word, of Outlook. So I have Outlook on my computer, and what you do is, can you let me know if you have Outlook? Because then I could tell you. If you don't have Outlook and maybe you're using like Gmail or something, I don't know how to do that. So what I do was is another business expense, right? And I got Outlook for Home from Best Buy, and it's a yearly subscription basically. And then what you do is You go into Outlook and you just go into mail, and you can do signatures, and you could create your own little box of signature. And so on every outgoing and replying piece of mail, your signature will go on there, so that I can just kind of I can even answer it from my phone, and all my Google accounts will travel and go over to Outlook, so that it looks professional. And then if I need my wife or someone else who's sending me something, I mean, it's just easier to send it through the business email. I would definitely, I definitely think about getting it if you didn't. You have Gmail. Yep. Okay. So that's probably why I don't know how to do that. I'm not sure if Gmail allows you to on the mobile app, but if you go and log in through your computer and see if you just actually, you could probably just Google it and see if they actually do signature pages. But yeah, it's definitely highly professional. In my professional career, my last job was we used Outlook. Super, super familiar with Outlook. That's why I wanted to use it. I want to consolidate where all of everyone has like 28 email accounts these days. And at least I could take the top 3 and say, push them all into Outlook. So then it's as professional as I can, and I can have one spot, checking of all that. But blah, 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 blah. So yeah, so so you're looking at Outlook. Good. I'm getting a free business email from my hosting connected to my Gmail. Okay. Well, I mean, I actually like your Gmail. I mean, I think that that's fine. Let's see. I think that was all good. And you'll notice that I have a Gmail too. So, I mean, I just got northeastwashpros@gmail.com. I don't have anything else. I mean, I don't, nothing's coming through my website right now, but that's something else that, unless it's like a charge extra per month, lean and mean is like how I'm trying to run it right now. And it's, it's important, I think, to try and maximize, your profit while minimizing your expenses. And you're renting right now, so you have a pretty big expense. It's hard, but you can't really write that off, I don't think. Or maybe you can write a portion of it off, like, I don't know, I don't know. You have to ask a tax guy. But McCarthy and Company, CPAs out of Lafayette Hill, PA. Jeff Kim is my guy. Google McCarthy and tell him that I sent you, and he will definitely help you. Tell him that I sent you, and he'll help you out. Ask him, say, hey, could you do my taxes? And if you have, your taxes are easy enough to do on your own, that's fine. But once you own a business, you really should be thinking about, now that Biden's in, Trump did some things, but he's going to tell you of all the things that you qualify for that you don't know about. We can only be specialists in certain areas, right? Can't know everything about everything. So that's why you want to probably reach out to him and ask him, PPP, the PPP loans. I think that if you were to apply, you just need to apply as a small business owner. And once you get your money, I think they forgive it immediately. So as a small business owner, you can actually be eligible to get money from the government right now because of COVID and other things, which may or may not, probably will help you month to month moving forward. I've done my website myself. It was a pain in the arse. Yes, it is a pain in the ass. I actually used a company called AppNet, AppNet. Literally, if you go to a website and you like the way that it looks, scroll down to the very bottom and you could get them to design it if you don't like yours. I honestly, that's another thing that I kind of did. So equipment wise, I kind of made sure that I had stuff that wasn't too chintzy looking because I wanted to make sure that it looked professional when I went out there. I also wanted a professional looking website. So AppNet, AppNet. Who knows if I'll stay with them forever, but it's been pretty good. They're WordPress. So there's Wix, Wix, is another type of HTML coding. So, but Google likes WordPress. So make sure you have a WordPress site. You probably do. They're pretty easy to design and implement for the most part. Although you're right. I would be jumping out of a window if I had to design a website. I'd be like, no, that's definitely going to be delegated to somebody. Okay, cool. I don't think I can. I can write it off, but I'll definitely ask Jeff if I can. How much was your insurance? If you don't feel comfortable, email me. My insurance, my general liability, my GL insurance. So think it's about $1,000 a year. So it's like 3,300 bucks quarterly. So that, I mean, it's $100 a month, basically. So if you want to put it down to that, so you could pay them monthly, you could pay them quarterly, but it's about $1,000. And like with all insurance policies, I think that's for $1 million, aggregate $2 million. And so Joseph Waters is the company that I use for my general liability insurance, and my vehicle insurance is through like Allstate. But yeah, I mean, it's all an expense too. Remember, that's part of the expense. You have insurance costs. You have, those are your fixed expenses. Yeah, I think that's it. If you don't feel comfortable, how much was your insurance? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I also got my workers' comp one-man band just in case I get commercial work. So workers' comp. Oh God, what a pain in the ace that is too. I did mostly residential. And if I got commercial work, I was just, look, I mean, I work with Corman Associates. I work with a bunch of different property managers, like pretty decent ones too. They've never asked me for workers' comp. They've only asked me for my GL. I would say that's probably a waste unless you plan on doing a crap ton. Like, I mean, given your position, I would ramp up. My own personal thought and opinion is I think you should ramp up probably through residential first, and then you should hit commercial where you can that would accept. So right now I have 2 apartment complexes that are going to be they want estimates from me. What I've done is, remember, subcontract. Find some guys bigger than you around you and then become their friend. They want to work. They want to they need big jobs. So 12 buildings, 127 units is one apartment complex. And then there's another one that wants me to clean one building. And if it works out, they have like, oh God, I think they have like 9 other buildings. I'm not set up that way, especially for like on-site water, like toting in my own water. So I have already planned it out. I've talked to the project managers and to the property managers of these commercial deals, biggest ones I've ever done. I'm talking probably around 30 grand, like, 20 grand, something like that. And that's probably going to go, that's a hard pill to swallow. But if they want it done right, that's what it's going to be. I don't need to make a killing off of those. I just want them, I'm trying to service them by getting someone in there that's going to help them. But what I would say to you is that workers' comp, until you start getting employees that you'll need that for. As an owner, you don't need workers' comp. I don't know who sold you that, but they should not have sold you that if you bought workers' comp. They should have been like, "Are you the owner, self-employed?" And they're like, you say, "Yeah." They'd say, "Oh, well, you don't need that. It doesn't cover you." So I would think about that. Check out the website. I spent a joke month on it. About a month on it. 200 mil aggregate one. Okay, 2 mil, 1 mil, 2009 You, oh, good. I'm getting screwed then. Yeah. Well, shit. Paid $950 for it. LOL. Workers' comp. Yeah, I would go back and ask them for your goddamn money back. I'd say, ask them first. Say, look, did you know? Do some work. Actually, you're in New Jersey and I'm in PA, so maybe it's different. I could be wrong, actually, but I would say call them up, do your research first, then call them up and see if it confirms what your research showed you. And they say, hey, I just paid you like $950. You did this illegally. I expect a check back in my mail. Toot sweet, bitch. So how do you find commercial contracts? They find me. It's funny enough. They find me. So commercial. So I've actually had a lot of people reach out to me just because of where I am. Google my business. I'm on there. I have like 42 5-star reviews and I have about 800 pictures. And so that's always good for the algorithm. make sure that you're also doing reviews for other businesses, because Google My Business likes me as a person, and I'm the admin for the business. And so anyway, it's a long story, but being active on there is really how it was. I mean, people local to me, when they have big projects, I didn't solicit any of these guys for my commercial content. It sounds weird. They need to go out and get like they need 3 quotes. So they will, they'll call and they'll say, or they'll leave a message and they'll say, hey, we're at such and such here, and I'm the project manager or the project engineer, and we're hoping that you come out and give us an estimate. And I say, great. And when it comes to the big apartment complexes, you got to be careful. Because guess what? You need manpower. It's not a solo job at all. So you need somebody like who's looking out. Also, in case people come walking out of the damn building and you're spraying SH or chem and they're like walking right into it, they're like, oh, you got bigger problems on your hands. But you need to make sure you set the expectations right at the very beginning. I'll just mention this because I'm being taught this right now by bigger dudes who are telling me what's going on. Like, think about an apartment complex that has maybe like 2 or 3 floors, but they all have balconies with their shit on it, their bicycles, their plants, their tomatoes, their whatever, their chairs, their dog toys or whatever. And then you have to make sure that you tell these property managers, look, I'm not being held responsible for any open windows, any people's stuff being damaged on their balconies. A letter needs to go out and call your people and make sure that they know I'm coming. Because it's a big project. I mean, it is. I mean, on-site water, sometimes you got to tap into a hydrant. Sometimes you got to do a whole list of things. And that's why I sub it out to bigger dudes, because I'm learning. And the cool thing about I'm learning from them, and I don't want to keep jumping into different tangents, but I'm learning from them a lot. And what I'm also learning is when you sub it out, if you check out some of my other videos on the YouTube channel, like the window washing. So we sub that window washing out now. I'm not buying, 10 grand or 15 grand worth of equipment, or even 5 grand worth of equipment to, you got screen cleaners and all that other crap. I sub it out. You got to be added on as an additional insured to their policy. They actually have to do the legwork. They call and they say, Mario Northeast Wash Pros, additional insured. So if anything happens on this job, I'm not held responsible. They are, right? So that's the smart part about, and that's a huge golden nugget. Another one, golden nugget, additional insured. Awesome. You just got to make sure that you put it on there. If you're going to start subbing out to the big guys to help you get your projects done and you get noticed, and then guess what? Before long, these project managers are going to go, holy crap, Mario, you got that whole damn thing done. I saw these other guys, on site, they weren't your company. They're like, oh, yeah. They're our subcontractors. They help us when we have big projects, and they do absolutely phenomenal work. What do they care? I'm managing the project for them on the contractor side. They don't really care. But again, to just reiterate, those big apartment complexes, you got to make sure that they are communicating with their tenants to move their crap. And if not, that SH might damage stuff and you're not held responsible. So, okay, next thing. Do you do reviews on your person or business account? I do reviews through personal, which relates back to the business because I'm an admin on the business through Google My Business. I think I have, like 20 reviews, but they've been seen millions of times. It's pretty awesome. But do reviews on here's a trick. Do reviews on highly trafficked areas. So the Art Museum in Philadelphia. Do a Google review on Art Museum Philadelphia. Tons of people go there. Do it on the Rocky statue in Philadelphia. Like if it has a Google page, whatever it is, just write a review for an awesome restaurant, like one of the best restaurants around you. Do it on that. And then give them 5-star reviews, give them a 4-star review, give them whatever. And they actually like it too, because now you've just been introduced to them. Say, holy crap, when you go to the restaurant again, you say, hey, look, I gave you guys a good 5-star review. Excellent job. I really appreciate it. They go, no way, really? That's awesome. What's your name? And you say, yeah, I'm Mario. They go, yeah, that's awesome. I say, hey, you know what? I actually do cleaning, exterior cleaning and restoration work. Would you, here's my card. Just if you need something, let me know. I love you guys here. It's fantastic food. The service is great, man. I will never leave you guys. I'm a true fan. Um, you need true fans for your company too, and that's what's going to happen. So yeah, I have a terms and conditions. I'll send you via email. Let me know what you think. Awesome. And I assume you're using ladders for to get on the porch, the balconies. Nope. I'm spraying it up there, arcing it up and in. I use a ladder like a tall A-frame to get up to maybe second or third floor. I don't want to wash anything higher than 3 floors. And 3 floors is high enough. I'm using an A-frame ladder, hopefully on concrete with somebody who's footing the ladder for me, and we're far enough out so we can kind of soap. You're soaping from the bottom up, and then you're rinsing from the top down. And if they're open balconies, which is what you want, all you got to do is just let the SH dwell with your soap. You don't even actually you don't really need soap. Funny enough. So, if you have stonework, restoration work on things like bluestone and other things, you really could technically, you could just put everything into a pump sprayer, like a full 12.5 SH, spray it on that blue. It will kill all organics off, and then ball valve rinse it, and you're done. I like to use a ball valve on almost everything. That thing is just a fantastic tool. And then, if I don't really want to get close because it pops mortar and all that. Anyway, getting off topic. So let's go to the next thing. So I hope this is good for you. Tell me in the comments if you're happy. I got a couple people on here right now, but I think Bosvids. I'm only hearing from you. Actually, I don't even know your name, but just email me your stuff and then we'll figure that out. I do give reviews on my personal account as well, but that is a different email account. Does that integrate to my other business account, both Gmail accounts? Yes. So what I do is I will log in as Mario, Joseph on there, and then it'll say at Gmail or whatever. And then when I log into my business, it recognizes me as the admin for Northeast Wash Pros. And so that will translate over. So if you have that kind of link, so it's messed up how this is, but that's why you got to do it right from the beginning, or you have to backstep a bunch, which is a pain in the neck. Yeah. So if you are, I forget the badge they give you, like not Storyteller or something else. I think that's Facebook. It's something else. But if you can write reviews and you're the admin for the same email for your business account, so it recognizes you as an admin, it'll track you, and the algorithm kind of meshes together, and it'll say, oh yeah. So also remember, on your Google My Business page, make sure there's activity. Put a new promotion up there. Find an article online and say, hey guys, I found a new article, check this out. Make a recommendation. Do a shout out. There's, oh crap, let me see. If I go into Google My Business, or if I go into the Google My Business, there's a bunch of stuff in there, right? So there you go. So, if you get into, as the admin, the keep customers up to date, answer a few questions and update your details, post and update, see your latest photos. I have 1,807 views this month. We have our Facebook page made up. In addition, I will tell you this: you got to make sure that your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, whatever. LinkedIn is even awesome. Actually, if you go to my LinkedIn, just look up Mario Joseph Philadelphia Northeast Wash Bros. See what I've done in there. I just started up a LinkedIn page, and 17 people are on there now. You got to get out there, and everyone's social media, I don't know, social selling, I guess. I don't know these days. So you got to do everything you can to get out there in front of people, and you got to be bold about it and professional about it. So if I was talking to you right now, I'd call you up on the phone, and I'd be like, hey man, you don't know me, but my name's Mario. I'm actually from Greater Philadelphia, and I saw your information online. I saw a couple of your videos. I have to say, awesome work, man. Thank you. You've been a cool inspiration to me. All right, great. Is now a good time to chat with you? It's not really, because they know you're not a client, but they might have time for you. And a lot of guys in the industry do have time. I always make time for my friends and for connections. Don't forget, we're bridge builders, right? We're not bridge burners. We build those bridges, and that's how it's important. But but be not aggressive, but be frank, be professional, and represent yourself well. And if people are dickheads, then let them be dicks and just move on, right? So I think Bobby Walker, I stole something from Bobby Walker, and he says, Journey of a New Entrepreneur, and he says, some will, some won't, so what, next, right? I love that. I was like, oh, I'm totally stealing that. I mean, and that's how society is too, stealing it. But like society as a whole is built on the backs of those that have come before us, and we just kind of try and make it better, and we try to make it ours. But I love that. Some will, some won't. So what? Next. Keep moving forward and do your best and forget the rest. Kind of crap. I love this, dude. By the way, you've been awesome. I mean, like I don't do lives too much, but I got 2 guys in here right now. But is it Baz or Baz Vids? You're awesome. So keep them coming. So I'm going to give it like another 10, 15 minutes. Oh, there it is. Basri. Okay. Basri Attar. Awesome, dude. Sorry, I can't read. I'm getting old. What machines are you running commercial versus residential? And then how difficult is LinkedIn to set up a business account? First and foremost, you got to set up your LinkedIn account for your personal, and then you can set up your LinkedIn account. It's going to take time. So let me back up. So marketing Mondays, I usually make Mondays my marketing days, and I'm usually calling people and I'm booking deals. If I don't, like I told you, I try to book in the weeks. So Mondays, Mondays I'll do marketing Mondays, and I'll book Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we're bookending the week, and we can know what didn't happen in this period, so we can follow up on Friday for the following week. Marketing Mondays is me trying to like do content as much as I can. I take pictures with my phone and send it right to the Google page. I'm trying to get as many Google 5-star reviews as I can. And but LinkedIn and stuff, it's not hard. It's not hard at all. Just go on LinkedIn and just put in your some basic professional information. It's free. And once you have it professionally set up, friend me, and then I will we'll be connected that way. And you can check out Northeast Wash Pros on LinkedIn, and we have a business page. And so what's happening now is, like I told you, we had 5 part-time guys from last year, 2020, and one of those part-time guys is going to become like a sales. The hell, shit. What was I going to call him? A sales, not associate, sales consultant or something to that effect. And so what I'm having him do is he's going to be a 1099 guy, and he's going to book business. He's actually an investment guy, but he's on several different boards. And believe it or not, he was actually part-time with me, and I knew him from my banking days. Been great connection for me. And I'll say, look, on every referral you give me, I will give you, and here's another nugget, I give him 10% on residential and only 5% on commercial deals, because the commercials are so much more, right? If I give him 10%, it's a huge, huge number. But if, like, say on $1,000 property, if we're doing $1,000 ticket, it's $100. That's pretty good. You give me 6 reviews or six referrals, $600 extra in your pocket. I think you could do that. And then I keep track of that. And then I would 1099 at the end of the year. But I think eventually he'll probably be a territory manager, and he'll run a couple trucks too out north towards Phoenixville, which is west of Philadelphia. So in greater Philadelphia, I cover everything from like Bucks County to, Delaware County and into Delaware, but not anymore. My territory manager in Delaware is going to be in a 20-mile hyper-focused area from northern Delaware up to southern PA, right? Just over the line, and handling all the Westchester and like parts in between. So I'm going to be setting up a new Google My Business page for him, a new drop, this is also going to have to be part of the SEO stuff that I'm looking to get done, because I want to be found, and everybody uses their phone. It's just pressure washers near me, cleaning, green chimney cleaning, like whatever it is. I mean, stucco's huge too, man. Stucco's huge. And I'm going to try to make that like kind of a niche for me, and charge a higher ticket price for that, because it comes out fantastic. Especially if you know what you're doing. I have a woman who wants me to do her house every year. And I'm like, it doesn't need it. She's like, no, you need to come out every year and make sure this stays good every year. And I was like, great. If you want to become a member, it'll be $45 and great. I mean, shit, if you have we had 375 new clients last year. From everything from like the railing and fencing or, like PVC, like railing going up stairs or something to huge multi-million properties. We came to the Jersey Shore. I did a house that was on in Ocean City and it was right on the water. God, it was huge, man. It was huge. 3 stories tall. It was biggest house, maybe even one of the biggest houses I've ever done ever, but it was great. I charge more than my daily rate, which also, remember, you need to know your minimum, but you also need to know your daily rate. Like, what's it going to be if somebody goes, I need you for the whole day. I actually cleaned this guy's primary house. He lived in like Pottstown, and he was in the medical field and had a practice. And then he goes, he actually called me and goes, funny story. I'll be really quick. Had this call from this guy, and he emailed me through the website. And he says, hey, I've been doing research on you, and, I'm really amazed at the work that you can do. And he kind of was giving me a lot of accolades and kind of buttering me up. And as you know, a lot of times people are trying to sell you something, right? They're selling SEO, they're selling marketing, they're doing whatever. And so I was like, I don't know who this guy is. So I called him up, and he told me, he was very religious. And he's like, come out and tell me what you could do. And I said, look, if I go out of my region, out of my service area, it has to be at least $1,000 project. I just want to let you know now. He goes, okay. I said, okay. I did a YouTube video on this. So just check the channel out. Huge house with a huge pool in the back and a huge pergola. It was gigantic. I'm like, God damn, that's huge. And then he goes, I can't believe that my house looks like this now. And then he had me come back and do the roof. Then he had me go to New Jersey and do his entire house. It was amazing. So anyway, enough about me. So I didn't even answer your question. What machines are you running, commercial versus residential? So it depends on who I'm subbing out. If I get a really big job, those guys are using 8 gallons a minute, and they have buffer tanks. They got all that stuff for my residential. I think I mentioned that I'm using a Harbor Freight 4.2 or 3 or whatever it is gallons per minute, 4,000 PSI. Might be a little high on the PSI, but I have a backup, which is like a Honda 4 gallon a minute, 3,500 PSI, 3,200, something like that. But that's like my backup machine for the new, oh, and by the way, those things are like $700. To get a 5 gallon per minute machine, they're expensive, man. I'm like, and they break and you need maintenance. I'm like, dude, I get a maintenance plan on that thing and it's done. Like in 2 years, if anything goes wrong, they replace it. And they're going to replace this other one too. So anyway, I stick with Harbor Freight. They have a pretty good value in tools and a pretty good replacement protection plan. But like I said, I utilize subcontractors a lot. And let me tell you, you could be the face of your company and they don't care who shows up. As long as if you show up on site or you have somebody show up for you eventually, you get big enough, I'll come work for you and I'll just show up on the site. But like you show up and, you're like, hey, good to meet you, Andy, or whoever the hell it is who's project managing. And they see you and they know you, they really don't see, if it's Spray and Splash or, Spray Wash Academy or whoever it is, but they come in with the big trucks. They're the ones making $35,000 or $75,000, investments in their own machinery to upkeep it. Oh my God, I'd sub it out. You got a big job, sub it out. That's why you need to first build a relationship with, you're in northern New Jersey. You should tell me where. I don't know where you're at, but I might know a couple people in your area. How difficult is the LinkedIn set up a business account? I think we covered that. How are you getting your employee working only Tuesday to Friday? The GX390M, just one machine. Okay, so I'll tell you that. How should I put this? When we were always 1 to 2 weeks booked straight, but I booked Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday first, leaving Mondays and Fridays open for last minute clients. So if they were to say, and they always did, there's like, look, let's be honest. I mean, I'm not being sexist here, but The ladies at home on these big ass houses, they're not working and they're trying to figure out what they can do to make their house look nicer, right? They're they're like, what else can I clean? What else can I do? I don't know, honestly. I mean, they have the kids, they're watching the kids, but they take care of the house. They're maintaining the house while the husband's either on a call or, or oppositely, if the wife is out doing her thing and the husband's home or whoever's home, they're out there. They sometimes say, when can you come? And I say, I have, it's Sunday. And I go, I have some time tomorrow. How's that work? Like, great, come tomorrow. And if not, or it's like I told you, sometimes people are like, we're rushed putting his house on the market. We need to sell it immediately. There's all kinds of situations where people come to you and they want the work done now. They don't want to wait 3 weeks. And that's a really good trick. Again, here's another one. If you keep some stuff open and keep your guys part-time, I mean part-time, whereas they're not full-time guys. They work kind of when they want, and I handle the scheduling. And if it's a small enough project, I'll do it on my own. But I try to like really leverage as many projects as I can in one day because we crush it as a two-man crew. So they are working Monday through Friday, and sometimes it's like, one guy works Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and no Mondays. And another guy might be like, I'm doing only Mondays, not the rest of the week. Or, it's kind of a scheduling nightmare, but it wasn't actually as bad as you think. So finding guys and getting the work that's the first step. You need to get the work, and then you got to find the guys, at the same time and see who you can get. And I hate like, it's tough. I know it's tough. And people always like, oh yeah, Craigslist, bottom of the barrel. Reach out there and social network with your family and your friends and tell them you're looking for someone. Say, look, if you haven't, you probably already did this, but look for the young guys. Try and post something on Facebook towards like local high schools or local camps or clubs and say summer work available. Like I plan on instituting a management trainee program. So you can get college kids out there that are like young, ready to go. They're ripped up, the best shape of their lives, man. They're like 18 to 25-year-old guys or girls. They're ready to rock and roll and move fast and hustle. And they like learn. So, you're 24, right? I mean, I hustle, but I'm like, nope. Not compared to some of these guys, but my 51-year-old guy, he crushes, man. He's like up a ladder, down a ladder. He's a part-time fireman. He's actually a personal trainer as well. It's all over the map, but you gotta get out there and market for not only your clients, but for your employees. And it's hard to do. You just got to find as many avenues as you can and spend time advertising yourself and introducing yourself to people, and you'll get there. GWB, George Washington Bridge. Are you kidding me? Damn. Okay. There you go. That's up there. Well, I'll tell you. Let me think about that. Actually, I do. I know a couple guys that are up there. Let me send you an email, and we'll try to connect you. And you can, those guys are tough. Those are the grindstone types of dudes. So from New York. I'm not even a Philly guy. Like traditionally, I grew up in Delaware. Like I said, I was like, my home market is northern Delaware, and now I live in greater Philadelphia. I lived in Philadelphia for a long time, but New York is fun to visit and not to live for me. So I don't really know where Edgewater is, but I'm pretty familiar with a couple guys that live up that way or work up that way. So cool. So we've been on for almost 2 hours. Awesome, man. This is great. And Basri, if you need anything else, let me know now. And otherwise, there's 2 people on right now. It fluctuated between like 2, 3, 4 people, which is cool. You got to start somewhere. This level's not the level. The next level's the level. I'm glad that we got a chance to go over the 7 habits of a sales master, salesman to be, successful. And I hope you got a lot out of it. Please do me a favor, to the other person on here, share and comment and like. And, I'm not trying to make anything out of this. I just want to try to share my expertise, as a 40-year-old person who's made it up to a vice president of a company in corporate America and realize it's a goddamn trap. It's a trap. And now you're running your own company, and it's so much more fulfilling. Got more times with my kids than I've ever had when I was, making a good living in that world, but also like killing myself. The stress is toxic. So anyway, talk to you over email. You're very welcome, guys. Have a great night, and remember, keep it clean out there. All right, hit me up. You can get me direct message me, and obviously we can do this through email anytime. Till next time. All right, keep it clean. See ya.